Well, hello, dear friends. I want to share a few thoughts with you today on the treasure that's the power of Christ and Christ himself in earthen vessels. That's you and me in our weakness. I think in this COVID-19 time, we do feel very weak in many ways. We feel anxious, concerned, unsure of the future, wondering if we could be victims of this thing, and so on and so on. Feel very weak. But I take great comfort in the fact that Paul can write in 2 Corinthians 4:7, we have this treasure in earthen vessels to show that the transcendent power belongs to God and not to us. Isn't that awesome? God wants to show forth his power in you and in me in our weakness, not so much in our strength, in our weakness. And sometimes people just concentrate on the treasure of the power of Christ and celebrate all the time, but they hide and conceal the weaknesses and so forth that are in them. That leads to kind of a schizophrenic life and also a sort of an unbiblical triumphalism. But on the other hand, there are others who focus just on the weakness. Oh, I'm so weak and helpless and hopeless. I can't do anything. I'm nothing, and so on. And they ignore the wonderful treasure of the power of Christ in them. And that then leads to, an unbiblical defeatism. But the apostle said we must bring these together. The treasure of the power of Christ in us, in the weakness of the earthen vessel. And so he can say a few chapters later in 2 Corinthians 11, he says, if I must boast I will boast of the things that show my weakness. If I must boast, I'm going to boast of the things that show my weakness. And then he talks about all the revelations and everything that he's had, visions that could make him feel very, very strong and proud and arrogant and so forth. But he said, no. He said, the Lord spoke to him and said to him, to keep me from being too elated by the abundance of revelations, a thorn was given me in the flesh. And he said it was to keep me from being too elated and to keep me weak. And God said, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. So he said, I can celebrate weaknesses and I'm be content. Weaknesses, insults, hardships, persecutions, calamities, COVID-19. For when I am weak, then I am strong. So, beloved, you may feel weak, but when you are weak, you can rely on the strength of the power of Christ coming to you. And you can celebrate afresh the fact that we have this treasure in earthen vessels to show that the transcendent power belongs to God and not to us. God bless you and keep you in his care and protect you.